What's going on, everyone? Kelly Cavalier here, one half of 7 Air Media, and welcome to today's edition of the Honky Tonk Highway, episode 45. Yes, we've already almost made it to 50. Thank you, everyone, for joining us so far. If you haven't yet, please like, follow, share, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We are currently live on both Facebook and YouTube. That way you can watch it anywhere you prefer. Just a couple quick announcements. Don't forget, we're about a month away, guys. 7 and 7. 7 workshops in 7 hours that we're going to be doing over on join the group 7 and 7 events. We're bringing you 7 instructors from the US LDCC competition. We're all instructors that have qualified for the finals with a shot of going to WDM on the line. So make sure you join us for that. Also, next Tuesday, I will not have a show. Join me on Dave Morgan's show on Line Dancer Radio. It's the Carry Up on the Line show on Tuesday night. I will be joining him for about 2 hours. So, join us over on that. Hope everyone enjoyed yesterday's show with the boys releasing the schedule for the 24-hour event that starts tomorrow at 5 p.m. CET, which is 11 a.m. here in the States and on the East Coast. If you're not busy, I'll be teaching at 8 p.m. on the East Coast. That's 2 a.m. CET, 1 a.m. in England. I'm going to be teaching Madison's Dance Southern Dreams. So please join me over on Streamline for that. Okay, without further ado, I hope you got your popcorn ready, your snacks. Like Georgina says, she's already prepared breakfast, lunch, and dinner in case it's going to last long. If you didn't make it to last Thursday's, go back and watch it. You're going to be entertained, but here comes part 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend, Mr. Rob Fowler. What's going on, bro?
Hello, yeah, hello, very good, very good. So I apologise for anyone that wanted a short night last week. So. And just about the Streamline, while I'm thinking about it, it starts at 5 o'clock tomorrow, and I open it up.
Yes, so, you do. You are the first teach tomorrow at 5 p.m. CET.
I'm doing a brand new dance by Pat Starr, what she's worked out with what we've been doing on the choreography course for the last 3 weeks. I've been doing an online teaching everything, how to inspire and how to work with people, break the music down. And so tomorrow is the first, but the dances, I could have done 5 or 6 really quality, really good dances. I'm buzzing from the feedback I'm getting off the course, so it's looking good.
Yeah, the whole lineup this weekend is going to be great. It was a very fun time releasing the schedule yesterday with the boys, and the whole lineup, the 24 hours, is going to be insane. There's some awesome dances being taught. You got Let Me Love You by Masters in Line is going to be taught, another one of your collaborations. Yeah. There's a couple of yours on that list of being taught in the 24 hours.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that was with Paula. We were arguing for about an hour in the at dinner time in a hotel. We were screaming at each other. Everyone had to kept coming around and see we were fighting when we were choreographing that. I think we was in London in Copthorne Hotel, and he was really at his height in creation, but his creation at the top, nobody else could do it. So I'm trying to get across to him that the stuff that he was trying to put in the dance. Now, even the dance is 100 steps now, and it's a good intermediate plus advanced level. What he had, it was way out. It was literally advanced, and there was about 5 people on the planet could do it. So that's where it was like, no, can't do that. We were arguing like crazy. But Let Me Love You come out at the end, so it was worth the arguing.
About to say, that's one of those ones that was up there with just like when Tom Mickers did Speechless. It's like there was about a handful of people that could do it right.
Yeah, that's about it, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was one of the most. That watching Tom Mickers do.
Yeah.
Speechless was speechless.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So it's good.
So I'm going to start off this show with the question that I never got to in the first show that I've asked everybody else, and I kind of warned you about it. So if you're late to the show today, you're going to have to go back and watch because this is going to be the one everyone's been waiting for. If money was no object, where would you hold a dance event? And who are the first 5 instructors you're calling?
Cool.
Hey, money's no object. You can have it any way you want. And then The first 5 people you're calling that you want to go on that crazy ride with.
Ooh. Ooh, it might surprise you a little bit. So,
The location of the
um,
people.
where would it be? I've never been to. I think I've been to. I think I would like to go. I'd like to go to India.
Oh,
Never been to India,
first time
so I'd
India's been
hold
named.
one. Yeah, yeah, I'd hold one in front of what's the place called in India?
Uh,
Taj Mahal.
yep.
Taj Mahal in it. So I'd like to go Taj Mahal, hold an event as close to the Taj Mahal as we can get. Who would the first 5 instructors be? Who I would take? Well, one you probably know. I don't know if you've heard of him or from the past. Would be Frankie Cull.
Oh,
Like to take Frankie Cull. You might not have heard of him. He's a UK-based guy,
okay.
and he's one. And right at the beginning, when I was doing used to do all the events, you're looking around for characters and everything who are good teachers who can do that. And Frankie was one of the funniest. But I think you have to be a Londoner. Think of Dick Van Dyke, but think of Dick Van Dyke a little on the edge. Yes.
Okay.
So the stuff that he was saying on the mic was very close to the edge of people, but you had to laugh. He was sort of a comedian
Okay.
laughing. So he would probably be the first one. And then you're sort of going down who we'd like to have a lot of fun with and whatever you like that. So I would look at. I would like to have Paul McAdam. I don't know where he is. So
Well, money's no
I
object,
said,
so we
well,
could probably pay somebody to find him.
so a million crosses his palm with a million, no matter where he's hiding, he might come back out. So Paul would be nice to do it with again. So that'd be nice. Who else? Who else would I? Joe Thompson, I think. I think Joe Thompson is just a class act. Obviously, then, but Joe Thompson, yeah. So you're looking at who else would I have there? 2 other instructors who you would have. That's a tricky one. I'm still thinking of that. A lot of people come in. A lot of people are going to go me. So I think the first people who I would go to. I think I would go to sort of the legends of my legends. I think I would go to Max Perry.
Oh,
I like
there's a
Max
good
Perry.
one.
I think he's one of the. I sat down with Danny last once, and we sort of started having a chat with him, and it was at the first it was sort of me and Danny were chatting, and then we started having a included him in the conversation. But after about 10 minutes, it was like me. It was like me what I did last week. I never shut up for 2 hours after question. I just asked him a question. Well, Max, what do you think of this? And he went on, and the two of us were sat there going, wow, the history, the knowledge, everything what he's got in his head, just for the pure thing of just coming sitting there doing that. And I think probably the other instructor, money no object, if you could drag him back, would probably be Tom Mickers. I'd love to see him again because he is the weirdest, craziest. His brain is out there with I don't know if some crazy footballing creative geniusy thing. So yeah, I'd like that. That's probably my 5, which are a weird 5. Obviously, there's everyone. There's Scott. There's Rachel. There's everyone else. But we see them on all the events. I'm just thinking if I had all the money, some that are not really involved in it so much at this point, I'd say, right, come on, there's $1 million, come back,
Right.
smile while you're doing it. I'm paying you £1 million each. You can smile even
Not to
if you
say
don't want
I'm
to be
paying
here.
you $1 million. Enjoy yourselves for a couple days.
Yeah. Get Rob MCing, then it's done, innit?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Speaking
Otherwise,
of,
he'd probably charge me $2 million.
but money's no object, so there you go. So
So there you go.
speaking of Mr. Glover, I don't know if he's tuned in yet, but guys, we'll have a surprise in the coming weeks for you. I'm going to be bringing Rob Fowler back for a third edition of the show, but we're going to be joined by another Rob Glover. So we are already in the works of doing We Got Robbed edition, as you'd like to call it. We're going to have both Robs on screen, so I don't know which one I'm going to be able to understand worse and which one we're going to be able to not to talk the most. So it's going to be fun. But so tune in to look forward to that episode. That one is in the works, so you're going to have both Rob Glover and Rob Fowler on screen together. So that could be interesting, to say the least. I'm probably going to have people in the chat telling me good luck.
Yeah, definitely good luck with that. Although Rob's a salesman, so he can get in. I've got a thing now that Liverpool Football Club, we both support them, and he's like, there's no supporters allowed anywhere near them. And if we we only need 2 games to win the whole league, and I guarantee, when we win it, he'll have the hands all over the Premiership Cup.
Not making that bet.
No one be allowed 3 miles of them. But he'll be there with how we got into the hotel party with the whole of that night after winning the Champions League. I'm going, I have no idea how he does it, but he can do it. So it's brilliant.
It was awesome because a couple of weeks ago I got to do a broadcast with Rob, and I think I found the football version of you. So he interviewed Phil Thompson, the former captain. Yeah. You want to talk about a guy who could tell some stories. I got to broadcast Rob talking to Phil Thompson for about an hour and a half, and all he did was tell old stories about Liverpool football and sneaking into the games and carrying the trophy around, and it pretty much was the football version of you. It was awesome. Yeah. I literally sat here, and Rob's like, "You can just put up the screen and you don't have to watch it." I couldn't leave the screen. I was glued. That man was an amazing storyteller. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's my childhood. He's one of my childhood heroes. He was in the team, so.
It was absolutely awesome. So, you got a little event coming up in 2 weeks.
Okay.
How's that? Well, no, you do. You have a little event coming up in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I've got Legends.
You have your Legends.
Legends coming up, and it's looking great. The whole thing around it is building up, and it's sort of, I'm doing like the virtual event over then, but I'm also doing the courses through the month, so they're all interactive. And we've got some brilliant ones. Scott's on, Maggie's on, we've got Darren Bailey's coming on, Roy that you don't know yet, Roy Verdonk's coming on, Peter Metalnic's coming on, which are extra than what you've seen already on there.
Awesome.
Heather's coming on.
Daniel Trepet as well, correct?
Trepet's on. Yeah, they're all coming on. So it's going to be a brilliant weekend. Yeah. Forward to it. And also, I'm going to release some of the dances what we've done on the choreography course, because awesome. I think people will shock. I think we have a little gem. I think we found a little gem of a choreographer in there. Oh. So, which I didn't think at the beginning. In 3 weeks, I've seen the version today after 3 weeks, and I was blown away. So I'm optimistic. So it's going to be really good, and it could be. I'm optimistic where that's going. So awesome. I'm very happy.
Awesome.
I'm getting the buzz back off the choreography course, because they're feeding back with me. They're giving me things. They're challenging me. I'm challenging them back. I'm shouting at. I've had rubbish. Find another song that's terrible, and then they come back better. So it's not like it's just a straight course. They're not coming on to get a pat on the back. They're coming on to learn. So, and they're doing it brilliant. But I'm getting a massive buzz out of that. But the event is the event on the Legends. A lot of people have got the wrong idea where the Legends dances, they think it's all old. So everything's all old dances, old things being taught. There are no old dances being taught. All the dances being taught by every choreographer, a new dance. What they do is their own legend dance or favorite dance. So Maggie would be doing Just a Memory, maybe Moni Moni, something like that. Scott will be dancing teaching a new dance, whatever the new dance is, but doing one of what we call legends, like Have Fun, Go Mad. But that'll be in the hour. In what I found as when I did the legends a couple of weeks ago, I sort of did as the other events do, where have you can, after they've done the teach, you put some YouTube dances on. But then from organizer, I didn't know where the people were.
Right.
So it was it's sort of having no sound in a room when there's people walking around the room.
Right.
So I'm going, I hate it. So then after, we quickly went live again and socially danced with everybody. So that's the way we're going to do. Each instructor that comes in is going to teach the dance, a new dance, and then have a social dance with them after to fill the hour.
There you
so
go.
Whatever that hour is, when the next comes in. So each instructor will teach a brand new dance, and then they'll get in with all the classics, the legendary dances and everything, and there'll be lists up. And if you're watching over the next 4 or 5 days, everything that's going to happen, you'll see all the information coming out.
Cool. So definitely check that out, guys. It's the weekend of July 4th. It's the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, or the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, whatever that is. That'll be Legends in Line, all virtual with an amazing lineup. Amazing, absolutely great lineup.
Dan and Kelly, we've got Darren. There's loads on. So we'll post we'll post the advert and the event and everything. So looking forward to it.
Awesome. One question I'm going to ask you, and I know we did an entire show on this topic, and I based it off of some things Michael Barr said. But what do you think about the amount of dances being released currently, especially with the pandemic, with no classes?
The tricky thing, I don't actually think it's a tricky one, because people want to. If they don't, we'll lose the dancers. We can lose the dancers. So if the dancers lose interest, so even if you're releasing new dances and they're keeping their interest, even though they're not redoing the dances later on. But I think the dances that are coming out now are more throwaway dances.
Okay.
So as a choreographer, you still have a responsibility to choreograph good dances.
Right.
And I can see that the instructors and what have you are picking up older dances, or they're picking up somebody else's dances. And like this weekend, Streamline, there's 3 or 4 different people doing mine or Masters or Rachel's or whoever it is. So, and I understand that, because the solid dances, people are getting a chance to dance them.
Right.
And I understand all of that. And plus, if they sort of might have done it 2 years ago, and then they're just having a quick recap. And then when this all kicks off again, you'll remember the people who are choreographing the new dances, and when they're coming out, you want quality, but it's still going to be. I don't think the big events are going to happen for at least 3 or 4 months, because with spatial awareness,
right.
I don't know what it's like in the States, but spatial awareness over here, it's like if you watch Alison Johnson's classes, she has 20 in a class in a hall that's 300 meters square. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's a massive hall. The spatially, now, how much is the hall cost? How much does the hall cost? And how many people are dancing healthily? So then you've got to do, as an instructor and event organizer, I'm doing the live one that's in November. I'm still not sure how that's going to work yet, because I signed the contract for 500 people, but the hall will only hold 200 now, 250 with spatial. So all of that is very interesting, how that's going to work out. So we have to see how that goes. But I can't see the likes of me. And I was talking to Darren Bailey about it the other day. I was saying, even the people now are asking me to go back in September to teach dances. they have to earn, they have to pay flights, they have to pay my fee, they have to pay
Right.
this or what have you. So it's whether they can, with the amount of people that are allowed in safely into the hall, whether they can afford that.
Right.
So it could be very interesting. So your dances which are getting put out, I think they're going to be lost. It's going to be lost by the time. I think maybe one or two might stick, but by the time you get to later in the year and you've got some sort of idea when it's all kicking back properly,
Right.
then you might have some dances come out late.
Yeah, I was doing some math, and because people ask how are events going to be able to keep? Are they going to enforce a 6 foot rule, keeping people 6 feet apart? And if you do the math, they're not going to be able to. It's not going to be.
It's impossible.
Right, because say the hall will hold 250 people. If you have a dance floor that's let's use a big one. Let's use Marathon. Marathon's main floor is just over 4,000 feet. Just the one, and I'll use the 4,000, which is 80 by 50, because I lay the floor, so I know the size of it. If you go, each panel's 5 feet long. You don't even get a person a panel, which that would be 14 times 10. That's 140 people. So you're looking at probably 80. You're looking at 13 by 8. So you're looking at only 110 people on the dance floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a 4,000 square foot dance floor by the 6 foot rule would only hold 100, not even 110 people. You can't. No event's going to be able to hold.
No, well, what you've got to remember, we haven't got them venues anywhere in Europe.
Right.
And if you have got them venues, they're in the 50,000s. The biggest one is World Dance Masters.
Correct.
But when you go to World Dance Masters, it's an old Victorian building.
Beautiful.
And
building.
I have the tower. I would have had the tower on the 6th of June, which is a couple of weeks ago. Now, they're beautiful. But the floor space in there is probably, you could probably get 400 or 500, 600 maybe in the big room,
right?
In the big ballroom for World Dance Masters. But now that's down to 250 maximum, 150 probably when they're dancing competition, because you're going to move more. So if you've got 150, they can't sit down on the tables, so your numbers are down, and that's why they've had to cancel. It's impossible, because the venues, you're still looking upwards of 40, 50,000 pounds higher the venues. You've got to, with the event, then you've got to get your own hotels and what have you. So the money that's involved in that on the top end, you can't make it. It's just impossible to make it. So you're on a loser. So straight away, it's hard to do that. So, yeah.
So
the dance is in the year.
Yeah. All right. So back on the dance question, and I threw out some numbers and I had some really good numbers that I looked up through Copperknob with when I did the show with Darren, Fred, and JP Potter about how many dances have been released a month. And you know this, you're a choreographer. How many dances have you done in the last year?
Only in the last year.
In the last year,
probably 8 or 9. I've done a lot. 8 or 9, maybe 10.
Okay, and that's ones that you wrote by yourself and with other people, right?
Mostly by myself. I don't really 10 by myself, and now I'm doing the choreography course. I've probably got 6 bubbling.
Okay, so that's now, so they're not up. So
yeah,
Christopher Gonzalez shared a post yesterday, and I was reading this, and I figured you would be the perfect person to get this opinion on. So I'm questioned now of how many of these dances were real and how many dances were not real that are up on Copperknob and all these sites, because Chris shared a post that was done by Peter Blazkowski, the guy from Kick It, and he released. It was sorry for the long post, but someone asked me how many choreographers are currently writing dances, and he went through and he listed every dance, every choreographer that he did. There's 132 choreographers in the past week that's released at least one new dance, and then he listed like everybody in the last week who did 2 dances, 3 dances, and so on. He did one for the past 10 weeks, and then he did one for the past year. and he did new dances in the past year, and how many choreographers on one dance, two dances, and then he says once you get above 15 dances, he named everyone who had more than 15 on Kick It. According to him,
Okay.
you have 18 dances in the past year on Kick It.
I do.
Yeah. Now I didn't go and look. This was a post that Peter made, so I assume Peter went by his own website because Peter does Kick It.
In the last year of
It says new dances in the past year, so I'm guessing from here to I'm guessing we're in June, so June of last year to June of this year. Yeah, like a couple people said they saw that post. It said that you released 18 dances in the past year. I'm looking at some of these numbers that he put in here for some of these choreographers, and I didn't get to ask some of them, but like, let me get down to some of the higher numbers. There is the top person apparently on according to Kick It. Andrico Usron wrote 203 dances on the Kick It in the past year. 203 in 365 days.
I'm trying to work out. I usually do. If it's by June, if it's from June, I'll tell you what I do. I have I work in France a lot, so it's a lot of country stuff that I do.
Right.
And maybe a couple of others. But most of the time I'll bring out six dances in the autumn, and then I bring out 6 in the spring.
Right, so about 12 a year.
So I'm thinking 12. So I can't see. I'm very interested in what they are. But I'm very interested. To be honest, I didn't even know. I didn't know it was still. I didn't know. I don't post my dances on there, so I don't know who's.
I don't post my dances on Kick It either. But like they had Daniel Trepet release 43 dances in the past year.
Wow.
43. I'm like,
a lot of them are. A lot of the. See, the beauty what I have is I find in France and sort of it depends what mood I'm in. I mean, if I'm in a good mood and I find good songs, I'm surprised at 18 because I've not been in a really choreography mood in the last.
Right.
I've been ticking over. I've not been really searching for them.
Right.
In France, they don't mind if you teach a dance and promote it for 3 or 4 months. So you can have, if you've got a dance at different levels, so if you've got a beginner dance, an intermediate dance, novice, and whatever,
right.
They don't mind you traveling around and promoting that dance. And the same goes in the spring. So I know I usually choreograph in December come January, but then even if I've released them, I've only released them for a week. They've only been around for a week before COVID came. So a week, 2 weeks maximum. So 18. I'm surprised. I thought it wouldn't be that high, but maybe.
There was one person he did for this week. He get in the past week, and this was as of yesterday. So I'm guessing Tuesday to Tuesday. There was 158 choreographers that released a total of just over that many dances. But there was one person that released 6 dances in 7 days.
Yeah, but I would just like to say I do that. I can do that.
Because you forget the post of right.
Yeah, but no, I would release 6 for the spring collection, but that would be the 6th. I wouldn't choreograph and release any now for 3 months after that. So I might because what happens in France is I usually go on a holiday. I'm in February and in late September there are events there which I go for a week. So when I'm teaching that week, I do different levels for them weeks. So I might bring the 6 dances out, one a day for a different level, and then they all want the script. So I might bring it out, put the script out, but around that, before and after, I would have been teaching them dances. So they would be, and I might be saving them for that event as it's a week long.
Right.
But that's the same as what I do also in the February. I have 3 weeks on like a holiday camp usually where I go. So they do the French dance from 9 in the morning. It's like Streamline and things like that.
Right.
They dance from 9 in the morning till 5 in the evening, have a dinner, and then social dance from 9 o'clock till 1 o'clock in the morning, then do it all again the day after. So they do it for every day for the whole week, dancing and whatever. So that's probably where I could do 6 in a week. It doesn't matter. This is and to be honest, I want to go back to the choreography course. What I'm doing, I want to check out. I'm going to release week 1 a dance that was choreographed in week 1, and by the same person, re-choreographed to the same music in week 3. Now, so this is week 3. The girl released put it on to the page, the group this morning. It blew me away. The difference. She was wearing a mask this morning because she was in a dance studio. And then I was swearing it was a completely different person dancing the dance, and the dance was completely different. Because 3 weeks ago I was looking and saying, I'm in trouble. I've got to bring these through. These are the set of choreographers I've got to bring through. They've listened, they've worked hard, and these are the people who are doing the Copperknob stuff, where you're saying they're releasing 100 dances or whatever. These are people that have been dancing in the past, and now they're looking back at what they've done before and going, we don't know half of that information what you've given us. So hopefully now, and the way we've worked together, and it's been brilliant, hopefully now that what you're going to see in the future by the choreographers is quality.
Right.
That's where it is. So when they come, the first time they came in with songs, and I went, there are songs you can listen to on the radio which are good songs, but there are songs that from a dance community you have to have if you want to get from the shelf, whereas that shelf where you're at now is you have to choreograph 200 dances, or you feel that you have to, or do you choreograph 5-10 very good ones, quality,
right,
wait for the song, pick the right song, do the right combinations. The idea is now it's useless, absolutely useless to choreograph a dance if it cannot be promoted, or if you don't have the respect of other instructors. Other instructors have to respect your name as a choreographer for them to look at your choreography. So what I mean by that is, and what I've been saying to everyone that's doing the course, and they've done brilliant, is we have to get the respect of their name up in the shelves. So the higher the shelf goes, at the top shelf, you're looking at the Madisons, you're looking at Simons, you're looking at all of them. What you want is, if you're not that high up, you're looking at the next 2 shelves down, that Simon might turn around and say, I've choreographed a new dance, but they want me to teach 4 dances. So I'll have a look at somebody else's. I won't teach anyone else on the top shelf. I'll teach somebody who I respect, who I know has a solid structure of the dance is solid. I know it's the song's gonna be good. So that is what we have been trying to do over the last 3 weeks. And the progression of all the dancers, even the ones that are not interested in choreography, are listening and understanding. So that's where I'm passionate about it. I hope it's coming through.
Oh yeah,
that we can build the level of choreography. So Darren said to me, and others say, oh my God, you're doing a choreography course, that's even more dances. I said, it's not more dances, it's quality.
Right.
Well, I'm after quality. And I've told them, if we go out at the end of the month, I'm gonna stamp it. That's what I'm after. I want to stamp a dance. And when I stamp a dance or whatever that's, and I put a mark on it, or we put a mark on it, anyone sees that, it's respect. They have the respect. So I'm not going to let rubbish McDonald's dances go out. I shouldn't say that, right? I don't think I should say that. That's up for it too. But I don't want to do dances without quality coming out from the people who are in the club. Say, right, okay, then what I want you to do is let's do it together. Let's build a creation, make it work to the music, make it things. So another instructor will come along and go, wow, I absolutely love that dance. I'll teach it. And then I said, we've got to back it up with another one later.
Right.
But they'll look at your name then. The people who are putting out 200 in a year are just, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of, they're a waste of time. And they must get absolute, if they keep doing it and over again, they must must feel bad because no one's picking them up. Maybe it's like, if I do 200, 3 might get picked up. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Which is ridiculous. If you do 20 quality dances, you want 1 or 2 picked up, so 1 or 2, 3. If I do it, I choreograph a dance that I really like, but if it's not picked up by anyone, if it's not put in the right place, if it's not promoted correctly, then the dance, especially now with all this, but if it's not promoted correctly, the dance is lost, even no matter how good it is. So that's what you need: the instructors of classes. You need your just your normal everyday day class, evening class in the bars. You need them instructors to pick it up and go, I love this choreographer. I really like them. I respect them. They're right on my level of my classes. And they normally come up with great songs, well choreographed, well structured, and it's right on the point. So that's what we're after. That's where I want with this choreography course, and it's happening. So
awesome. How many more weeks you got left in the choreography course?
Well, it finishes the end of next week. The first one, the course finishes next week, but it's already everyone wants to carry on. So next in July now, it's going to be, I'm going to start the course again for beginners, and then I'm doing an intermediate course for literally them that want to do harder. So what the idea is we build in dances, and I don't want Rob robots. I'm not after Rob Fowler robots. So the idea is the dances that they create, the creations, what they're bringing out, I add structure to them.
Right.
So I'm showing them how to structure the dances, and that's some of the things are stupid. People travel too much in the dances. They're not listening to the rhythm of the music and everything correctly. So, and then when somebody picks that dance, they're the ones that are choreographing 200 dances.
Yep.
And they don't understand music or dancing, half of them. And then they just put it out, and then why is no one picking my dance up? So,
right.
And I'm not saying hastily, I'm just saying that I don't understand why they don't come back. In fact, I've done this course now for €20 for a month. People have come on and they've really enjoyed it. They enjoy the structure. I didn't know how it was going to go, and from the beginning. But now I've learned a lot how I can structure the next month's one, and hopefully we get a new band of people coming on, and hopefully I'll get them that's doing 200 dances a month or a year, wherever they are. Get 1 or 2 of them on and say, right, okay, let's understand why you are releasing 200 dances and they're not catching.
Right.
Let's see if you can understand where we are, and then you might go down to choreographing 10, 15 quality.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand if you get up to 50 in a year, what on earth? What are you doing?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just.
I think the most I've ever done is about 20, and that was because of the USLDCC competition. I had all the we had the 6 events over the year where we'd enter the choreography competition to qualify for masters, and I think that was the most I did.
But as a job, I think I've done over 30 years. I've choreographed probably 800 or 900 dances over 30 years. Yeah, in fact, probably twice that, and I've thrown them away. So I've done that, and it was always you back it up. But a lot of that is when there was no internet. When there was no internet at one point for the first 10 years of line dance, 15 years really, before the internet broke,
right.
You just had the dance. Everyone was coming to your event. We've done that one. What's your next one? Especially when you're up there, like the Madisons and the Garys
right.
and the Rachels and that. Now you're under pressure, and that's where your quality can go down a little bit once you get battered with the pressure. So yeah, you look at that and go, okay, you have to keep working on it. But what I'm doing now, I don't know why I've not had it. They might look at me and think I'm a has-been or something, and I'm really glad that people have come on and had a look and they've learned so much, and I'm very happy with the feedback and the dances they're doing.
JP Maj just said, "What about the event directors always asking for new dances every time? Doesn't that also cause a little bit of the problem?" And we definitely talked about that
Well,
with Fred and Darren and JP Potter.
Well, it's like me. It's like me now. I've said the choreographers are going to be teaching new dances and they're going to be going over the old ones. It's as an event director, it depends who's coming on the events, and it depends how Legends is done. The original idea behind Legends was we don't lose the classic dances. Do you know what I mean? So
Right.
we're not losing the so, but when they come on now, it's if you're just teaching older dances as a choreographer, it depends as well how you're employed. I'm employed in France as a choreographer.
Right.
So look on Streamline. Look on Streamline this weekend. We've got 4 or 5 people, or 3 or 4 people doing the dances, Let Me Love You and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So they might there's instructors and then there's also choreographers. It depends how your contract is. So if you're a contracted, as in anyone can go and teach any dance as an instructor. If you're a choreographer, then you're sort of under pressure to come up with your own creations. So I'm usually contracted as a choreographer instructor. But then if I've done it once or twice where I've gone along and I've done 3, 4, 5 of my own, and I've done 2 others, and even only 2 others, they've turned around to me and gone, "We're paying you for your dances. Why are you teaching Tina Argyle's dance?" I went, "Well, because it's good." So it's good. It's country. It fits in my.
Right.
It fits in the group, the full package of what I'm doing. It fits right in there. It's a nice tongue strutty one, which I wanted, so I'm teaching it. But you can do it that way. So that depends on your event director and the sales. Whether people, if you turn around and say, right, I'm running an event, it's nice to say, like on the Legends, I'm running an event, but everyone says, oh yeah, we've done all the old ones. I've been doing it with Retro Line, with Rachel, or whatever it is. I've done all them. So yeah, but it's never been like that. It's what the idea is. And on a normal event, the dance floor is full with dancing all the classics and the legends, but it's always been the teachers, the instructors teach new dances. So you're blending
Right.
the best of the old with new. So it's just a blend between the two. And that's what this Legend's going to be around. It's going to be dancing all your favorite dances, all the big dances, and throw in some new ones as well. And then you'll learn new dances off the choreographers. So it sort of works hand in hand.
Nice. Gemma Bailey says, "I wonder what dances would be most popular if all dances are choreographed anonymously."
Do you know what I'll tell? That's a very good. That's a very good question.
It
I'll tell
is.
you what I was going. I'll tell you why. Because I want this thing. What I'm doing the choreography course, right? Is I was going to say, right, I'm going to put 4 of my own dances out and 5 of their dances
And see if they can pick.
without the names, and I'm going to do a poll and say which ones you like best. So which ones out of that, and I'd be interested. But it's not that is to where the point there is, and I totally agree. If the choreographer's name on it, I'm looking at some of the dances, what these dancers have been doing with me, and I'm going, if Maddie brought that out, it would be in the top 5.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? It would be in the top 5. If Simon brought this. We've done a waltz this week, and the woman's come back with this waltz, and it's spine tingling. I haven't done that since Deeply Completely. The woman brought the song. She broke this, and when I do breaking the songs down, we break the songs down into, and they're learning. This is a 60-plus-year-old lady, right, who has just in the last 3 weeks learned layers in the music, and she's hearing beats she's never heard before because I'm training her to hear them, and she's picking them out. She went out and found a song. She picked out the steps, and all I did was help her structure it a little bit. But she put all the steps in what she wanted. She did it, and when you get it, and I call it pixie dust, right? So the likes of the guy that's got the 200 dances out, his dances will be hardly anything in them. If they're not getting picked up, the first thing he's not got respect of choreographers, because nobody likes anyone that sticks 200 dances out. It's ridiculous, right? But then the other thing is you've got to get the respect that the choreographer understands the music,
right?
So over the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've been showing layers of the music. So each of the songs underneath, the drum beats underneath, and then the vocals, the lyrics are on top. But there's also in between stuff. So they're getting up to week 3 or week 4, and they can actually hear it. You can choreograph for 10 years and not hear that. I've been meticulous. They've been going away. They're listening to music, really listening to it now. So when they're listening to the music, they're saying, okay, it's a brilliant song. And I turn around and say, yes, it's a fantastic radio song. But as a choreographer, I wouldn't touch it because it's got no pixie dust,
right,
or it's not got cream on it. That as a choreographer or your dance class, if you're teaching, I want every dance that comes out, I want your student to walk off the floor and go, I remember that dance,
right,
and it felt really nice. I felt really good walking off the floor. And that's what I've been trying to instill in them. And I have been straight. I've been straight 2 or 3 times. And I thought they would go. They would leave. Do you know what I mean? I said, okay, there comes a point where I have to be, you're paying me. You're doing it's like a subscription. So it allows them to do everything. So they can come and do everything what they want, but they're still paying me a subscription. So as a professional, I've got to say if it's wrong or if it's not correct. So I have been hard with a few of them. Instead of going away, the others have protected them. The others in the group have come in, chatted to them, protect them. And then up to their credit, they've come back and said, okay, what about this one? They've gone away, they've listened, they've learned, and they've put it into practice, and they've come back better. So I think that in the future, they still got to. They might have choreographed 1 or 2 dances each in the last 3 weeks. You only get judged when you choreograph 10 or 12. Do you know what I mean? So you're a flash in the pan, 1 or 2 dances. But every single song they pick now, they're structuring it in the head. They're breaking it down.
Yep.
They're working out where the bits are. Never done that before. So that's where now your 200 dance guy with their throwaways. These ones, they're breaking the music down. When you pick them up, people will take notice, and the choreographers will take notice, and the instructors hopefully, and say they know what they're talking about. These are solid choreographed dances, and that's what I'm after teaching. So yes,
yeah, but I don't think I don't think some of the choreographers, even if the great dance was great, would take notice, because I've watched it, and I've at least watched it in choreography competitions over here where there's been judges that have judged a dance that's been danced, placed it very well, and then turn around and look to another choreographer friend of theirs and goes, I really like that song, let's write on top of that person. To a song they just judged. So it's like, and it's like, I call it, and you'll appreciate this. I call it the lonely drum effect.
Yes.
Madison Glover brought Lonely Drum over. Now, Madison could
Yeah.
have done the what some people do and turn around and wrote a dance on top of Darren Mitchell. And Maddie could have wrote a dance, and even no matter what it was, Maddie could have released the dance, and I'm sure it would have been amazing and great. But she chose not to.
Yeah.
She chose to take a
Yeah.
dance that someone else choreographed and take it on the road and bring it over, and look where it went. Lonely
Yeah.
Drum is an improver
Yeah.
dance that everybody knows and everybody does. Nobody in their right
Yeah.
mind would try to write another dance to that dance and try to release it to
And
the
that's
circuit.
what. Yes. But when you look at that, and this is there's two reasons with Lonely Drum. When you look at that dance, it's a structured dance,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
the dance is structured well. So when Maddie picked that dance up, she looked at it. It has everything in that has the magic. Everything. The song is fantastic. The steps are a little bit unusual, very nice and quirky, but straightforward. So when you're looking at that, you're going, yes. Now the question is, with Darren, I like Darren a lot, and his choreography is good. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea there is, as a dance instructor, you'll go and look at the second one.
Right.
You'll go and look at his next dance and the next one after that. So you'll look at the next three. Now, this is where building choreographers' reputation up. If Maddie comes and now likes Darren's,
yes,
Maddie or someone else that's doing the same thing, maybe Simon or maybe someone else in Australia that's coming across, or maybe another one, will look at Darren's stuff and go, okay, he did a brilliant job on Lonely Drum. What was his next one?
Right.
So they'll look at his next one.
Yes.
So the choreographers now, which I'm training, I'm not training them to choreograph one dance. I'm training them to break music down. So every single dance that they choreograph has the structure.
Right.
So when they choreograph, if they choreograph a hit and it's very strong, when the next Maddie comes along and says, right, okay, I like that dance, that whoever that choreographer is structured that. I did the same with Rhea Voss. She did a dance. One of the first dances she did was rock, something rock thing. And I didn't know who the choreographer was. And I said, whoever has choreographed this dance is very, very good. And she's on, and she, the breakdown of the dance, as it's structured, as it works, as it moves. Whoever choreographed that, I really like them already. And then after I found out it was Rhea Voss. And after I looked at all the choreography, and she did nightclubs, she's done that. Her creative brain is really nice.
Right.
That's where I look and I'm going, okay, you're very clever, you're intelligent. And that's where now, when I'm now going through the teaching the students that I have this month, hopefully when they get up to the second level, because we've got people now, I've got some from Norway and everywhere else who are new line dancers. They are new line choreographers. You can see it. They're bringing me real proper dance music. So like what Guyton, what all the top guys that dance. So I'm saying, right, okay, we can still choreograph them, but the structure, everything else is still the same. You still got to listen what the beats are. You still got to see what timing it's on.
Right.
You've got to make sure where your spatial awareness is. You've got to do everything and pick out the songs where people think they're going to be boring, whether the dance will last, because if they're trying to dance to music, has it got any length of time with it? Is it a timeless piece of music? The lady that brought the waltz to me this week and she choreographed it, when you see the first edition of what she choreographed to what I danced this morning after I said, your dance is 4 minutes long. I give her all the tips and I said, the song is 4 minutes long. It's not got enough in it and the song is too good for that dance. So go back, redo this, redo that, have a listen to what the music is telling you. There's bits in the music which you're just riding, which your guy with 200 dances, they ride over the top of it. So when you've got a dancer coming out, they're going, yeah, it was all right. It was all right. And that sort of trash dances. Now, the people I've had in this week or this month, I literally had goosebumps today. I was laughing at the girl because of the progress she's made, and then the lady that's done the waltz. I literally goosebumps coming up on my arms. There's other people doing other dances, and they'll come out, and hopefully then people will recognize the quality that they're using. So yes, I don't know whether that dodged your question or answered it. Or
No, that was great. That was absolutely great. No, that was
yeah.
a great answer to the question. You've done it's been an amazing hour with you again. Um,
An hour again already.
yeah, it's been an hour already, brother. That's what happens when we get chatting. If you want to learn one of the dances from, I believe you're doing it from the class, from the choreography thing tomorrow, the 5 o'clock one's correct?
That's one that Pat choreographed,
Yep.
and I helped her structure it again. So, and it's a great track.
Yep.
It's I can't remember the name. I'll remember it, but it's a great samba prosy summery thing. So it's good.
So yeah,
It's very good.
that's the first class in Streamline tomorrow, 5 o'clock CET, 4 o'clock in UK, and 11 a.m. over here in the Eastern Time. So make sure to tune into that. Once again, thank you, Rob, for joining me. It was great.
Make sure you book for Legends.
Book for Legends in line. Sign up for his choreography. Don't worry, Gemma's like part 3. Don't worry, I'm already working on
course. I'm doing a choreography course, level 1, level 2. I'm doing a brand new instructors course, level 1. And I'm also doing a technique for instructors and dancers. That's all within the same price, as well as the event is included in that, all for £20 for the whole month. The Legends event's included, everything's included in the same price. So that's a good deal.
Awesome. So make sure you tune into that. Tomorrow there is no show, guys. We are doing it because it'll be in the middle of Streamline. So make sure to join Rob tomorrow at 5 p.m. CET. Join me at 2 a.m. CET, which is 8 p.m. over here in the States. I'll be teaching Madison's dance. And don't worry, for the guys who want part 3 of Rob Fowler, we're already working that, and we're going to be bringing Rob Glover on. So make sure to look out for that. So thank you for joining us, guys. Like I said, no show tomorrow. So see you on Streamline this weekend. Enjoy.
Yep.